Hello, everyone. Welcome back to SAT Math Question of the Day with Professor Brothers Chaiken, University of Albany, and Joel, Seth's brother. We're here to try to help you approach SAT math questions and studying for the SAT. A good way to study for the SAT is to sign up with the College Board to get an account, and they give you free access to Khan Academy, where the post-2016 tests are made up of about 40 topics, and Khan Academy gives you 20 questions per topic. So we are going through the top questions, the more difficult of these questions. It'll take us about a year to go through all these things, but this is what we do for helping you prepare for the SAT. And this is how you should prepare for the SAT, which is to do the questions at Khan. Anyway, here we go. Please read this and pause it, come back, and we'll do it. Now, on the actual SAT, they don't tell you that it's a question on units, but here we can see it's a question on units. A particular car has a fuel efficiency of 8 liters of gasoline per 1,000 kilometers. No, 100 kilometers. It's only been a long week. 8 liters of gasoline per 100 kilometers. What is the fuel efficiency in miles per gallon? Aha! So, but they give it to us in liters per kilometers, and we want miles per gallon. This is a unit conversion. We did one of these already. See, that's why we're on question 2. They tell us the conversions, don't they? Well, a great way to do this is to use what's called unit analysis. If we want miles here, then if we have miles in the numerator, we want miles in the numerator here. And then wait a second. I messed it up. You need to do 100 kilometers per 8 liters. What am I doing? What do they want? Miles per gallon. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you want miles here, and you want kilometers here. So the kilometers cancel, which is good. And you want the gallons here, and you want the liters here, so the liters cancel. So we've done the unit analysis. Now we just have to fill in these things. You just have to fill in these numbers, right? These ratios. Gallons per liter or liters per gallon, miles per kilometer or kilometers per mile. Okay, 1.6 kilometers per mile. Now it's just filling everything in. 1.6 kilometers per mile, 3.8 liters per 1 gallon. Notice I don't have to do much thinking anymore. I just have to fill in the slots after I do the thinking with the unit analysis. See, that's the key, is you do the thinking with the unit analysis. So that would be the answer. And there's a calculator, I'm sure. See, calculator, that's cool. So it's 100. Oh, sorry.
Don't write it over me.
I know. I'm sorry.
I will write it clearly, and you write it in green.
Fine. It's 100. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm putting it all together. 100 times 3.8 divided by 8 divided by 1.6. Is that what Seth gets also?
Okay, that thing is an L. Okay, there we go. So we know it's 1 kilometer per 8 liters, and we want the number here, which is the number of miles per gallon.
Yeah.
So we multiply 1 kilometer per 8 liters by how many liters per gallon, and they tell us the conversion. It is 3.8 liters in 1 gallon. So I write 3.8, also known as 3 8/10 liters per gallon. Now, we need to get miles. So we use a conversion factor of miles per kilometer.
Right.
How many miles in a kilometer? Well, they don't tell us. But they tell us how many kilometers in a mile.
Yep.
It's 1.6.
Right.
1.6 kilometers in 1 mile.
Yep.
So that is the unit conversion expression. Observe that the units cancel. Liters cancels with liter. Kilometer cancels with kilometer, and we're left with miles per gallon.
That's right.
And now we just have to do the math.
Except that this is actually a 100.
Oh, so we had
Not
so
a
it's
1.
100. Okay,
One.
good. Thank you. Yeah. Wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Got that.
answer,
So we
the
need a
answer
calculator.
is what you wrote. 100. Let's
Right.
check. 100
Yep.
times 3.8 divided by an 8, and I really want it to look like an 8. Times a 1, which Joel omitted, and a 1.6.
So let me do it.
Do the
Because it
math.
is
Do the
certainly a calculator. Oh,
yeah.
wait a second. 29.68. 29.688. Now, round to the nearest
That's
integer.
30.
Round to the nearest integer. That's what you got to read. So the answer is 30. But, might as well double check the calculator. Takes a second.
Please write it as a 30, not
I
a
will,
36.
but first I'm checking. Yeah, it's 29.68. The answer is, Seth likes the thinner one. 30. 30. 30. So, yeah, I mean, Seth and I basically did it the exact same way. I did the unit analysis first because I wanted to get the hard thing out of the way. 30, right. I did the unit analysis first. I noticed when I did the unit analysis first, I initially made a mistake, right? Writing it the wrong way here. Okay? But I caught it. I caught the mistake because my unit analysis just didn't work. Seth was going along the way by first doing the volume measure, the gallon liter thing, and then doing the length measure. What's that? What is Seth doing?
Don't mind me.
Seth is what?
I drew 30 X's.
Okay, so it really is 30. Okay, I wish we had an interactive thing where people could ask questions, but this is pretty standard unit conversion, best done through unit analysis. You could do ratios, you could set up different ratios to do one step at a time, but the best thing to do is be familiar with this method. Well, it's be interesting to see how they do it.
It's called dimensional analysis.
Right, dimensional analysis, yeah. Yeah. Just to be, just want to mention, I guess we'll erase it, remember it's 30. If you have one unit that you want to convert, like 100 kilometers to a mile,
I would call it's a quantity. It's a number that that counts units.
What did I say?
You said it's a unit.
Okay. If you have one unit conversion to do, you can consider it a ratio problem. You just write the ratio, put the units in first. Kilometers, mile. They tell you 1.6 kilometers, 1 mile. You want 100 kilometers, solve X. Okay? If it's one unit, this works great. But if all of a sudden you have more than one unit, like first you go kilometers to miles and then liters to gallons or gallons to liters, this really gets cumbersome. You can do it this way, but it becomes very, very cumbersome.
Yeah, so remember, the question is not asking what is the conversion between liters per kilometer and miles per gallon. It is they want you to convert the numerical efficiency of 8/100ths liters per 100 kilometers.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Yeah. So the quantity that we're interested in is called efficiency.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know how to divide How do you know what to divide when you're looking to quantify efficiency?
They're telling you right here, miles
No,
per
you have
gallon.
to know this. What does efficiency mean?
No, of course you don't
Let
have to
me
know it.
tell you what efficiency
Go
means.
ahead. Go ahead. What is it?
Efficiency is the ratio of what you get
Okay.
divided by what you pay.
Okay. Yeah.
So the denominator is what you pay or what you pay for.
What you spend for, yes.
Yeah, what you spend for, what you pay for, divided by what you get. So in the case of fuel efficiency, what you get is a certain distance,
Yeah.
and what you pay for is a certain volume of fuel. It's not the money for this; it's what you pay for. It's not what you pay.
Yeah. Right.
Right? And the units that they uh, the efficiency units, the units of efficiency that you're given is you're given the efficiency of 100 kilometers. That's what you get, 100-kilometer trip. And what you pay for is 8 liters
Right.
of gas.
Yeah, that's the
And you
metric.
want to convert that into the unit of efficiency that's used in the United States,
Right.
which is miles, because in the United States we measure car trip distance in miles, and we measure volume of fuel in gallons.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, in the end, all you really had to do is pay attention to this, but they told
But
you.
you need to know what economists, engineers, bankers, people care about what they get for their money. You have to know what the arithmetic operation in quantifying efficiency, what that is, what you divide by what.
No, you don't have to know any
You're
of that.
taught that.
But you don't have to know any of that for this problem.
How do you know? How do kids know? How do kids know that the word per means divide?
That
How do you know that?
I mean that may be like that may just be we just absorb that through years of education.
Years of education, yes, and
Yeah.
that's what the SAT tests you for.
Right.
If you didn't go to school, or you didn't have parents or friends who talked using language like per, you'd be clueless for this question.
Yeah, well, you'd be clueless for many of the questions. But the bottom line is, you didn't really have to know anything about what efficiency really means. Any of the stuff he tells you, this is what they want. They want the answer in miles per gallon. So when you do the unit conversion, you have to be left with miles per gallon at the end. That's what you want at the end. But it's helpful to also understand the problem, but it's not really critical to getting it right. Okay, so I guess we can test. We can not test. We can see how they did it. Did they do unit analysis, or did they do consecutive? What is this? Consecutive ratios. My suspicion is that they did unit analysis. Let us see.
Let's see.
Now something happened to the screen where the screen share, the recording moved over a little bit. So excuse me if that's the case. Okay, but I don't think that's going to matter right here. Oh my goodness, they did one at a time. Wow, look at that. They did one ratio at a time.
That would work.
Yeah. I mean, that was the second way. If you're not familiar with unit analysis, doing it in one shot, then you do it one ratio at a time. First, you do kilometers. Um,
Yeah.
First, you do kilometers to miles. You must set up that ratio. They didn't do the full ratio though, but they still did the unit analysis, right? They
Yeah.
did the unit
This is the
analysis here.
ratio. That's the
Yeah,
ratio.
they did the unit analysis one at a time. They did what we did, but they just
Yeah.
did it one at a time. You could have done it in one step,
Well,
but they
that
did.
makes sense. It makes sense. That's what that
Yeah,
approach is. That's
right,
it's a
right,
reasonable approach.
right. Yeah, they put
Yeah.
the little squiggly sign. That
Yeah. Yeah.
means approximately. Okay,
Yeah.
approximately, not exactly, because you have to round. They're rounding
Well, you
to
have
the
to
nearest.
watch out for rounding, though,
Yeah, got to round to the nearest decimal.
because you might have. Well, see, when you do those two operations of arithmetic, uh, it could happen that you do two separate roundings,
You
and
got
in
to
the
solve the
end,
problem.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the composite rounding. Well, let's see. Do you do it?
It's
Yeah, the first
wrong.
round, is one rounding. Well, this is also an approximation, but they did it to three decimal places.
No, only one decimal place.
No, to three significant
Okay,
figures,
yeah, but one decimal
and
place.
then they did this to two significant figures, and then they multiplied them, and then did it to two significant figures. But what would happen? Say, what if you rounded 62 and a half down to 62, and you rounded 2.1 down to 2?
You would not get the right answer.
Then you get 31.
You would not get the right answer.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so that could be one of the things they're testing in this question. People tend to do that. No,
yeah.
no,
You have
no,
to watch
no. If
out.
it's to the nearest whole number, don't
Yeah,
round this to now. Don't round it to the whole number
yeah,
now. Hold
yeah,
it. In
yeah.
fact, it's better to do it. It's better not even to do the half,
And
just to
even
be
if
careful.
you did 60, yeah, if you did
You know,
63
it's better to.
divided by 2, if you rounded it up, you get how much is that? You get 31
Yeah, you just.
and a half, and if you round that up, you'll get 32. Yeah.
Um,
So you need to carry enough digits of precision in each intermediate step,
yeah.
so that when the result is rounded, the result is, within the rounding error, one half
Right.
of an integer.
So, okay, so the thing is, if you do it the way we did it initially, where you do everything in one shot, then believe it or not, you don't have to worry about this, right? It all comes out in the wash. If you do intermediate steps, you really have to be careful here. You have to be, in fact, it's safer to do, let's say this 2.1 is really 2.11.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
safer to do this. Please don't round in the intermediate steps. It's so, so important. Carry the extra numbers through, then do all the rounding at the end. Yeah, they should have said that. They should have made a note here saying, hey, warning, do not round here. Do not round here. You're not going to get the right
well,
answer.
say if you do it with a calculator.
I did it with a
Do
calculator.
I will show. I want to think. I'm going to write down what the way to do it with a calculator that I recommend.
Go ahead.
You type in a parenthesis,
Yeah.
and then you type in a 1.
Seth's writing up here, by the way.
You divide that by 1.6.
Yeah.
Okay, and then sorry, that's a 1.6, and then divide that, because you say you want to take this thing and divide it by, take A and B, and you want to take A divided by B.
You
So
know
then
that
you
made
put
a
in the divide,
mistake.
and then you write down the math for getting B, which is 1 divided by 3.8, close the parenthesis, hit the equal sign, and whatever will come out, was it
Yeah, but Seth,
30 or
so
30 or
wait,
whatever
Seth,
comes
hold on
out
1 second. This has
is,
to be an 8, and this has to be 100.
well, this is the convert. Yeah, okay, that's why. It's what you got. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 100 times 1. Yeah, so 100 times. Yeah, you're right. Ha! Silly, silly. See, I made that silly mistake. It's a
Yeah,
mistake.
yeah.
You're right. 100 divided by 1.6 to get the number of miles,
Right.
and then divide the number of miles by the number of gallons. The number of gallons
Yeah.
is the number of liters divided by 3.8 liters per gallon. You type in start a parenthesis, 100 divide 1.6, close parenthesis. Right. Divide that by open parenthesis, 8 liters, divide 3.8 gallons, close parenthesis. You won't get the answer yet. Then the equal sign to calculate it all.
Right. So the bottom line is overdose on parentheses. But I don't know if most people do that. I don't know if most people are used to
I don't know
parentheses on a calculator.
Though.
I don't know. But
it's approach SAT. Yeah, the calculator is the tool for the SAT. So learn to use your calculator.
Yeah. Now,
learn to use your calculator efficiently.
Right. The only problem is that the SAT starting in the winter of 2024 is going digital for for United States students, and you will be given an online calculator. And I think you can also bring your own, and I believe they're going to offer practice. I think they're going to offer practice, but you have to check your guidance counselor. They better offer practice with the calculator that they're going to give you on the computer that you're going to take the SAT on. So, but this is an important consideration. So people taking the SAT after the January 2024 in the United States need to be aware of this, whether you should bring your own calculator, which is probably the better idea.
Well, look, they promise that they will give you practice questions, on the web that are like the taking the real SAT.
Right.
So look forward to seeing and using the SAT computer calculator.
Right. Yeah.
And if they disappoint in that, complain to us and complain even more loudly to the SAT.
Yeah, don't complain to us.
Write them a very polite letter.
Yeah.
That the calculator on the test is different from the calculator
on the practice. That would be a problem.
Yeah.
But also we are not experts on all the rules, so please don't take what we say as gold. Please look on the website, see what the SAT says about this calculator thing, and also talk to your guidance counselor. Do some work on your own to figure out what to expect on the digital SAT. Okay, I guess that's it, right? These next few weeks are going to be choppy for both of us, so I'm not sure when we're going to be meeting next, but we will meet as we can, and in a few weeks we'll definitely get back to every day, and we just plow through the Khan Academy questions, the more the upper level ones. Okay, everyone, have a great day. And of course, like us, dislike us, give us comments on our YouTube video, or email us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com. And particularly if you have any SAT math questions, email those to us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com. Have a great day.